Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Food for Footy. So, we're going to start off by talking about Saturday's games, but just a little reminder of who we are. So, it's not here yet. We are expecting a delivery soon, but we are going to be reviewing some food this week. This week we've got Krispy Kremes.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Can't go wrong with them.
No, see what their selection's all about.
Yeah.
Myself and Murchy here once again this week. And if you have a restaurant or a takeaway place, or if you even just want to cook us some food,
yeah, I'll take that.
we will happily review anything that you put in front of us. So give us a shout, drop us a message, and we will come to you no matter where you are in the country. So Saturday's games, mate.
Yeah, a lot to talk about yesterday. Very busy day.
There's a big one.
There's a big one.
Arsenal.
Oh, it's not Leicester then.
No, not Leicester.
Oh, no, it wasn't. When I switched over, because I only managed to catch, I missed the first 30 minutes. I switched over, and I seen him. And it looked dead ropey, and obviously then Saliba got sent off, which is a big talking point in itself. I know the Arsenal fans are very unhappy with the decision.
I thought it was a red.
I think it's bang on.
Red,
I think it's bang on. I think VAR. That's what VAR's there for. It's actually made the right decision.
I think so. Yeah.
And it's just really poor time of judgment from Saliba.
The thing is, he's in, and I thought Match Today actually analysed it really well last night, really well. So credit to you guys there. But the ball's going over the top. Ben White is not getting there before the Bournemouth striker. Raya is backpedaling. He knows he's not going to get there, so he's through, and he's quick.
Yeah.
He might not be the best finisher.
No.
But it doesn't mean you're denied a clear goal. It's goal scoring opportunity.
And we'll come to that again in a bit. But I think it's exactly the right decision. And Arsenal fans are, like I said, from what I've seen on like TikTok and Twitter, they're saying, "Oh, it's because VAR was run by a Liverpool fan. They don't want Saliba next week." Well, at the end of the day, Saliba's been really poor. And if honest with you, he's the reason why you've lost the game.
I mean, don't get me wrong, as a Liverpool fan, I'm sat there very happy. I mean, look, Arsenal could still, at the Emirates, do us over.
Yeah, of course.
It takes more than one man, but yeah, it's a big loss.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, there's two things we've got right on the pod, and we're going to come to the second one later on. But, first of all, we said in the very first episode, Bournemouth can beat anybody.
Yeah.
Because they play such brilliant football.
They're a great team.
They're
a great team, and that's what it is. They've not got a load of good individuals. They've got a team with chemistry, and they're all gelled, and they know how to play football, and they've got a way of playing under the Iriola. So it's just, they're a good team. We called it week 1.
Yeah, we did.
They were unlucky not to beat us, in my opinion, at the KP.
They gave us a good game.
Yeah, I think in every game I've watched of them this season, they've been really unlucky or
they were
really
unlucky
good.
Against Chelsea.
They were unlucky against Chelsea.
That penalty.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a penalty.
And Nkunku scored.
Nkunku scored.
Last minute, yeah.
They missed the penalty.
Yeah.
And if they'd have scored that penalty, I think they'd gone and won the game.
Yeah.
I sat watching it with Chelsea fans, and they had head in their hands.
Yeah, but it's just Bournemouth are just a great team.
Side.
Great team. Side. They'll be absolutely fine this season, and I think you'll see them pick a few more points like that up from other teams.
Do you know what? I'd love to go to the Vitality.
Yeah, I've never been. That's one stadium I've not been.
Because do you know what? Every time I sit and watch it, it's bouncing. Absolutely bouncing.
So really, it's an old school ground though, isn't it? You don't get many of them anymore. Yeah. So the last old school ground I've been to was Craven Cottage. Beautiful ground. Yeah. Like, we were sat next to the new stand that's been built. It's lovely, but you don't get that old school kind of feel where you're this close to the pitch. So, the Vitality is one that I'd like to do, but it's just always too far away.
Bournemouth, drop us some tickets.
Yeah, please. We'll come.
We'll come. It's, honestly, even when, because obviously they had the man sent off, but at 0-0, and they were under the cosh a little bit, Martinelli could have scored. Yeah. The noise coming from the Bournemouth fans, I think they're becoming a real sort of, personally for me, a favourite team. A team that you want to do well. You're thinking, go on, have a go, Bournemouth. Because, like you say, great manager. Yeah. Great fans. Yeah. Great team. Not the best individuals, but everything that football is about, that team game. Exactly. So massive fair play to you, and what a big result in the title race.
It's a great result. I tell you what, it throws everyone back in it. There's numerous teams. Even Villa have come good now. Yeah. I see where they are. They just don't look like they're going to ease up. I thought they'd drop off, but it just shows how good Unai is.
Well, that's it. I was actually talking to somebody yesterday, and we saw the scores come in, and Fulham 1-0 up, and he went, Villa were always going to drop off, weren't they? And then they win 3-1.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but Unai is just a fantastic manager.
He is.
Fantastic manager. Villa have done wonders appointing him.
He's got them firing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for Arsenal, look, it's not just Liverpool that Saliba misses. He misses Chelsea and Newcastle.
Big games they are. Big games. And I'm just saying, I did call Arsenal to finish 4th.
They've not done it yet.
They've not done it yet, but I tell you, depending on the results today, they could be 4th.
Well, if Chelsea beat us today, because as you guys always know by now, we film this early on a Sunday, so Sunday games haven't happened yet. But as as it stands now, if Chelsea beat Liverpool, they go level on points with Arsenal. Depending on how well they win, they could go above them.
I think they've got a massive goal difference advantage already.
Have they?
Yeah, I think Chelsea are on like +8, whereas Arsenal are on like, I think 6 or 7, so they will go above them if they win.
What? They're on 7. Yeah, they're on 7. City are on +9.
Yeah.
And City win today. You'd expect them to beat Wolves.
Should win today. Although we'd expect Arsenal to beat Bournemouth.
Exactly.
So we don't know.
Well, that brings us nicely to Wolves, actually, because the other big game is actually your game. It's your game combined with the Tottenham game.
Yes.
Because I made a big outside-the-box statement at the start of the year that I think... I can't remember what you gave me for it. You didn't give me a red card.
No.
You could very easily give me a red card for it now, where I said there's a world where all 3 of the promoted sides could stay up.
They got no chance. They're awful. They are absolutely awful. Southampton yesterday, your fans, you must have your head in your hands. 2-0 up against us. You've got to see the game out. I know there were some dodgy decisions.
They should have had a penalty. They should have had it. He's tugging at him.
I'll take my blue tinted glasses off.
Yeah.
Anywhere else on the pitch, that's a foul.
And that would have been 3-0.
It would have been 3-1.
3-1.
That's the game done.
That's game done.
However, obviously, 2 minutes later, Abdul goes down, spanks a bar from about 40 yards out.
Now, do you know what's interesting? Like, for those of you that haven't seen last week's episode, we talked about Leicester. Really great episode, okay? And it was really good to hear Murchy's viewpoints on what it was like being a Leicester fan growing up, and obviously 2016. But in your marks, you spoke about the signings this year. And you said Fafu.
Yeah.
You said top player, gonna be top, didn't start.
And he's not started for a while.
What an impact when he came on.
And it's exactly what his Leicester fans all know. And as soon as he got on the pitch, you could hear the away fans. They were chanting for him like he scored. Every time he got the ball, there was anticipation from the Leicester fans.
Unbelievable.
He's going right to the very top. He's going right to the very top. It's just hopefully Cooper's realised now that
they could not handle him.
No,
could not handle him.
Well, he scored a hat-trick against the same team last season. Practically the same backline. So, to not start him, again, it's my views on Cooper. I still don't like him. Obviously, we come back from 2-0 down yesterday. Fair play. He changed to Enzo's system, by the way. So
you did text me that.
Yeah, he changed to Enzo's system, which ended up winning the game. So, cheers, Enzo. Appreciate that. But yeah, hopefully he realises now his front four needs to be Mavidida, Buonanotte, Fata with Varda. That's the front four we need to see as Leicester fans. And Buonanotte, by the way, Jesus, man.
With Jordan Ayew coming on to save the day if needs be.
I don't mind that. He shouldn't be starting for us, but I don't mind an old head coming on to steady the ship kind of thing. He shouldn't be starting for us, but yeah.
The thing is, last week you said, what a big game this was.
Massive game.
What a big game. Now, when I saw the score was 2-0 Southampton, I left you well alone. There was no way I was going to text you because I knew you should see
I was sitting there watching it with my dad,
seething.
And James Justin got some abuse from me and my dad. So James Justin at fault for 2 goals again, but I ain't going to say anything any more on that topic.
But you got the 3 points.
We did get the 3 points.
Massive 3 points. Yeah. And look, I think now the reason why we said that was a huge game is because that's a 6-pointer.
Oh, it's massive.
And it leaves Southampton on 1 point.
Yeah, it's massive. I think Russell Martin goes. I think now.
Should he?
I know from what I've seen on TikTok from Southampton fans, they were calling for him after they got promoted at Wembley. Like, you've had, thanks for getting us up, but enough's enough kind of thing. And I think after yesterday's game and the substitutions that he made, they really cost them. They really cost them in the end. And I know, like I said, from what I've seen on TikTok, Southampton fans are not happy with him. And I can fully understand that because the football was poor. You had us 2-0. We looked awful. Just see the game out, get another one, boom.
Well, the stick everyone gave Spurs for throwing away a 2-0 lead against Brighton. It's the same thing, because it was all in the second half.
Same as Everton as well. Everton's
exactly.
Twice,
so I can see it. So you've got Southampton sat there. Look, I don't think anybody watching now is going to be expecting Wolves to beat Man City.
Yeah, I think you'd get good odds for that.
Could happen, and I'm not going to say it's never going to happen because I don't want to be sat here with egg on my face. But
done that a few times this season.
That's the beauty of football. Yeah. But okay, so Wolves and Southampton on 1 point. They're going to be in a fight. They're going to be relegation.
Yeah, Wolves. I'm still not 100% sure about Wolves, but I think, like you said earlier in the season, I don't know where the goals are coming from. I think when I've watched them play, they've looked pretty decent. I think Gary O'Neill was a good manager. They've had a really tough start. The fixtures that they've had have been awful. And obviously, like we was talking before, and you said, yeah, you get them out of the way. And people said, yeah, you've got them out of the way. But to be where you are after 8 games...
Your confidence.
You're at rock bottom, aren't you?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you might have a really good run in where you play Southampton, Leicester, Ipswich, back to back.
But you've got to win them.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to win them.
If your confidence is on the floor, you shot it.
Exactly. And that's it. You either, and I suppose you were talking about this with your Great Escape, they'll either come to a point where they'll go, right, well, everyone's expecting us to be done.
Yeah.
Nothing left to play for, and then you start playing.
Yeah.
Or that weighs heavy on you. And, the fans are going to be critical. You said that West Ham game for Leicester, the fans just thought, you know what, let's just support the team. Stop groaning, stop moaning, let's support the team, and picked up.
And it changed.
Exactly. I mean, Everton, they've had a great win. They got a great win there.
Yeah, I think Everton will do all right now.
Because, again, that was a 6-pointer against
Ipswich.
It was.
I think Ipswich are doomed.
I think so.
I think they've got a great team for the Championship when they go down next season, and they're built for that.
I don't think... Look, my thing was outside the box. I didn't think it was actually going to happen. I don't think anybody expects Ipswich to stay up.
No.
But the big one, West Ham.
They're in trouble.
I think they're in trouble.
They're in trouble. And I think the manager hasn't got long left to change it.
Not in the slightest.
No.
Not in the slightest. I know West Ham fans were furious about him 4 games ago.
I can only imagine it's got worse.
Yeah.
I don't know many West Ham fans.
No.
But I can assume they're not very happy with how it's going. Your team on paper is fantastic. And we were talking about this before. The team on paper, you've got a great 11. You've got a great 11 there. But I just don't know what's gone on with him.
What was Kudus doing?
Oh, he's lost his head.
What? I mean,
he's lost his head.
First of all, I've never got this with football. What is this?
Yeah.
What is this here? But do it twice.
Yeah.
So you've got your yellow card for doing it to Van der Ven, and then you do it again.
Was it Richarlison who did it to?
Well, Richarlison went. I've seen the replay.
You don't stoop to Richarlison, man.
I think it was Papa Sarr.
Was it?
But Richarlison. I mean, Richarlison comes running over and he just goes down like a sack of spuds.
That's Richarlison.
That's Richarlison. Yeah. You need a wet floor sign around Richarlison.
Yeah, he's always on the floor. I can't stand. He's one player I don't like him.
But what an idiot! What an idiot! And the best player, arguably.
Yeah.
West Ham fans, let us know what you think in the comments below. Would you get rid of Lopetegui? This guy that's managed Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Clearly got a pedigree. Is he going to come good? And next question for you: are you too good to go down? We've said that before.
We've seen
famously.
that with us a few years ago.
Leeds.
It's happened a few times,
but everyone said Everton too good to go down. They've stayed up.
Yeah.
So will you stay up? So I think there's a real big key talking points from Saturday's games.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Hi guys, so welcome back to Food for Footy. Our food has arrived. So we have the Krispy Kreme assorted selection in front of us here. I've got a nice mocha here. Murchy, you got a hot chocolate?
Yeah.
So we'll see what this is like.
Yeah.
We went for just the assorted one. We didn't pick them.
No.
So we've just gone for a random selection. We'll see what they're like.
See how they go. I'm sure they'll go down well.
We'll see,
with me,
mate.
Everything goes down well.
We'll see, mate. Right. Speaking of going down well, you segued me nicely there. There was a big appointment happened this week.
Big news.
Huge news. just as we were actually praising Lee Carsley and saying, do you know what? He's been brave. He's done everything that the fans wanted him to do. He's had a go. There was a few comments that came out afterwards, people thinking, oh, something happened, and then bang.
Something did happen.
Thomas Tuchel.
Thomas Tuchel, New England manager.
Thoughts, mate?
My thoughts, I really rate it, if I'm honest with you. A manager who has won something. That doesn't happen much, does it? So,
Is this the 8 years of Southgate hurt, mate?
Oh, I can't stand him. Can't stand him. Awful manager. As a director of football somewhere, I think he'd be really good. Management is not his job. But Tuchel coming in, fair play to the FA. Didn't think they'd go step out of their comfort zone. I know there's been mixed opinion on it because he's German, obviously. I mean, it worked out well for the women. The women's team hired Serena Weigman. She did pretty alright. So...
There's a lot been made out of that. There's a lot been made out of that.
I think too much has been made out of it, if I'm honest with you.
I think, now, we said in the earlier clip, we said there were two things we got right on this pod. First of all, Bournemouth. The second one, Murchy. This time last week, we were talking about England.
Called it.
And you said, if I'm the FA, I am going to get Tuchel.
He was free. Obviously, I think they're paying him $5 million a year. Or something like that, so it's not massive amounts of money.
Mate, you're yet to win an outside the box.
I'm yet to win an outside the box.
That is
However,
a win.
Yeah,
that is a win.
Arsenal finished 4th. It's happening.
Our Arsenal fans, are you worried now? After Murchy
I'm telling you,
right, are you worried?
There's something in the water.
Right. I think there's a lot being made out of this.
Yeah.
That he's a German man. I saw a brilliant comment on social media, and it just said, you can't help where you're born.
Of course you can't. I know there's been certain newspapers that have wrote articles about it, but we know what they're like. And at the end of the day, coaching in England, from somebody who's coached in England for a long time, not at the highest level, but I'd say I coach at a decent level. Coaching in England is very, very low in standard. The amount people have to pay to get their licences, I know a B licence is a few thousand, I know an A licence is up to 13,000.
Yeah. They were saying it's about 15 grand to become a coach.
Yeah, you're priced out of making good coaches in this country. Especially ex-footballers who are quite lower down in the leagues where your club can't pay for them. You've got some good footballers down there with probably better brains. And the fact that our country is doing that, you can't then moan when we have to go somewhere else to get someone else from another nationality. Thomas Tuchel is a proven winning manager. He's got PSG to their only Champions League final they've ever got to in the last 20 years with oil money. Chelsea got them to beat Man City in a Champions League final. He had Kai Havertz, Mason Mount up top. Like, come on. He's had Ben Chilwell playing at left back. Like, the guy is
might be getting Ben Chilwell back.
I don't want him back. The guy is a proven winner.
Yep.
He's got a winning mentality. Yeah, fair enough, he didn't win the league with Bayern last year. But I don't think anything was stopping Leverkusen last year. It was one of them seasons where everything just clicked for them. No one was stopping them, bar Atalanta. So yeah, for me, I think it's a really good appointment. I will be excited to watch England for the first time in the next international break. I've not said that for a long, long time. I want to see how he sets up. I want to see the players he picks. Because it'll be interesting. It's a new era. And I think people have just got to get behind him.
I've said this when he was appointed. I thought that Tuchel coming in, he said he's a winner.
Yeah.
Liverpool and Man City were dominant at one point. You know, it was who was going to win the league out of those two.
5 or 6 years of constant battle, wasn't it?
The one that was close was Chelsea.
Yeah.
And if anybody was going to break that, it was them. And under Tuchel, and they were getting closer and closer and closer each time. They were horrible to play against.
I think, even now, Chelsea fans will agree. I know Chelsea fans still like Tommy Tuchel. He was probably sacked too quickly.
But it was politics. It was politics, wasn't it? And I think it was Aubameyang that was a big thing. Did he want him or he didn't want him? There was something to do with that. But basically, he said to the owners, no, I'm the manager. You let me do my thing.
Yeah.
And they said, no.
And I know that people will be worried about that with England, but he doesn't have to deal with any of that now.
No, he doesn't. All he has to do is pick the players.
And that's it. He's got no politics to worry about. Obviously, the FA is still the FA. We know the problems within the FA. But I think it's a great appointment. We've finally got a winner that is coaching our team with one of the best sets of players that we've had for a long time. Would I rather him or Southgate? I'm taking him all day. All day. So we'll see what happens, and well, we've got the next tournament in a few years, and we'll see what goes on there.
Because his contract is 18 months, isn't it?
Takes us through to the World Cup.
Which again is what fair play to the FA. I think it's a masterstroke, because if it doesn't
They've
work
got
out,
something right for the first time in a long time.
If it doesn't work out, brilliant. But I think this whole villainising him. I mean, I heard someone saying, "Oh, imagine if we face Germany in a cup final."
Great.
He's going to go for it. do we really think that Thomas Tuchel will suddenly turn around and say, "Right, Jordan Pickford, you're now my striker"?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Of course, it's not. He's going to go, and he's going to go to do his best because he's a winner. He wants to win. Because
if anything, him against Germany in a cup final will be more to him because he wants to prove that he's better and he should have been given the Germany job.
Yep.
So, but I don't know why people are arguing against it. I think it's a masterstroke.
I mean, is there a bigger achievement that you could have in football to win a World Cup with England? Because 1966 was the last one. You know, as a Liverpool fan, we had the 30-year drought, all this sort of stuff. But 1966 was the last one. What people call the home of football in England. Is there a bigger achievement?
Well, it'll be 60 years.
Exactly.
Come the next World Cup. So if he gets his firing, hey, I don't care if we play shocking football. I know that the man is a winner. From what we've seen under Southgate, that was shocking football. It can only get better.
Right. What did we say? What did we say with England? We said that defence is questionable.
Yeah.
Brilliant going forward.
Yeah.
Tuchel made Chelsea this rock at the back.
They're a unit.
But look at our players. 3 at the back suits them.
Yeah.
If we lined up
we need 3 at the back for England. Because we need that defensive protection.
Everybody keeps saying if you have Stones and Maguire or whatever together,
I think Maguire's career is done now for England. I think Tuchel going there that he's done. He's finished.
But what you could have is you could have Gahey in the middle. You could have Stones one side, Walker the other side potentially.
Yeah, of course you could. I think Walker will be out of it by then. I think he'll retire. Judging on how he looks this season, I think he looks really poor.
But people were saying, how do you get the best out of Trent, right wing back?
Sorted.
Brilliant.
Absolutely sorted. He has that defensive freedom to not always have to track back all the time. Obviously, he's going to have to do his work still. But I can imagine that if Reece James is fit, he will play in that right centre-back role.
I think he will.
Like he did for Chelsea.
He trusts him.
Exactly. So I can see that right side would be absolutely fantastic, by the way, with James and Trent.
Yeah.
Oof, fantastic. So, yeah, I think he'll get the best out of our players.
I think he will.
And I think he'll use the right system. He's a good manager, and hopefully we're here in 18 months' time and we've got a World Cup to our name.
I think it's really exciting if you're an England fan. I think really exciting. I do not understand this villainising of him. I think...
Yeah, no.
He has done something. He's won a Champions League.
Yeah, exactly.
He's won league titles.
Exactly.
Oh, you had your eye on that one, didn't you, Murchy?
Yes, I did. I've been looking at this for about 2 minutes, mate.
I think it can only be a good appointment.
Yeah, agreed.
It can only be a good appointment. And, you know, I do not get the people talking about, all the negativity. The only negativity I heard that I thought I agree with, St George's Park was supposed to be a place to bring through the best coaches and players.
Agreed.
So I get when I hear people talking about pathways, blocking a pathway for an English coach. Lee Carsley shouldn't get the job just because he's under 21's manager.
He's also Irish.
But I think he's done well with under 21's. He's been given a little bit of a chance. Should he possibly give him more of a chance? Maybe.
Yeah.
The problem is with Ten Hag looking shaky, what they didn't want to do is didn't want to lose Tuchel. So I get that.
Yeah, they've got him out.
And I think actually it's not Tuchel's appointment the FA need to look at. I think it's exactly what you said. It's the cost of a coaching license.
Grassroots.
Exactly.
Grassroots once again. I think the grassroots system.
Cost of a coaching
I think
license.
this could be a complete different episode for another day.
1,000%.
The grassroots system in this country, for someone who obviously grew up through it, coached in it, it's broken.
But I think even you talk about coached in it. Even we both played football. You played to a much higher level than I ever did, but we both came through as kids being coached in this. And I see it with my niece and nephews now how they get coached. We're doing this whole chase down the ball, win the battles. We've still got this mentality that still exists. Whereas actually in Spain, in Germany, and all these other countries, it's
they're coached to play football.
Exactly. The coach to pass it around, keep it on the deck.
Not coached over here.
It was a breath of fresh air actually this weekend. I was watching my nephew play, and the coach wasn't praising goals, he was praising passing.
Exactly.
And I was like, this is brilliant, because I remember being lined up in 2 lines, coach being in the middle, kick the ball, you got a goalkeeper in it, and it was, right, you battle and then you score.
Yep.
You battle
1v1s. Everyone's done it.
Well, I remember a coach also whipping a corner in and having all of us, bear in mind, it's like 10 at the time, and you've got a fully grown adult whipping it in as hard as you can. What 10-year-old's going to want to jump and nod that ball in?
Also, what's the point?
Yeah, ridiculous. So, I think the best thing they could do is, you've got one of the best managers in the world as the England coach. The England coach can also then share wisdom, share knowledge, take that down, and then build St George's Park to what it's supposed to be. But you do that by reducing the costs.
Exactly.
You do that by don't making it so difficult to become a coach, and making it a viable pathway, viable options. I do understand what people have said, where they've said this is England football, and if the players have to come from England, the manager and coaching staff should. And I get that.
I'll get that.
I get that.
Who gets coaches? Who's out there? Apparently Eddie Howe wasn't even contacted.
No, which is ridiculous. I know you don't like him.
Yeah,
but
I'm not a massive fan of Eddie Howe, but he's probably the best of what we've got, no? Who else is out there? So, the whole grassroots system in football, coaches and both players alike, it needs looking at. And fair enough, the FA have got this one right with the managerial appointment. But like we said, St George's Park were built to bring English talent through, and they've not done that. Something needs to be looked at.
Start making it happen.
Yeah, agreed.
Start making it happen. And actually, I think you've got. There's your first problem, not Thomas Tuchel coming in. And actually, if England start winning, then you've got a platform to build on.
Exactly that.
So you heard it here. We think good appointment.
Yeah.
What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Okay, let us know what you think. Do you think the English manager should be English? Okay, first of all, who would you have gone for? And what do you reckon? Do you reckon Thomas Tuchel was a hero or a villain? 13 minutes.
13 minutes. Solid, mate.
Nice.
Reset.
Right, heroes and villains.
Heroes and villains.
Right,
you ready, mate?
We'll do a quick thing of those.
Yep.
Hi guys, welcome back to Food for Footy. These Krispy Kreme donuts are going down well, Murchy.
Always do. Not hard with me.
Which one was your last one?
I think it was the Biscoff one.
Loads of
started
Biscoff.
with, to be fair, I really like just the standard glazed donut. I feel like you can't go wrong with that. I could just smash a whole box of them, which is really bad. 12 of them, I think I could do in a few minutes. Bang, straight out. Challenge one day.
I had a thought, and I thought actually, anyone that has an eating challenge, we'd be up for that.
Send it my way.
We'd be up for that.
It's gone, it's finished, it's done.
Well, do you know what? I give you a run for your money, Murchy. I think we take that on. So we'll have to do it. We'll have to do an eating challenge one day.
100%.
Not quite sure the football talk.
There won't be much talk, but it'd be great for my stomach. So.
Yeah, interesting. No, I had the white chocolate one.
Oh, that one in the bottom corner. It looks alright, mate.
I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Right, so before we were talking about Thomas Tuchel, and we ended it by saying, he's been villainised a little bit because he's German and, taking over the English team. So we thought, right, has there been a case before of a villain becoming a hero? It's nearly Halloween. We thought, let's start looking at villains becoming heroes. So, we found this tough.
Yeah,
we found this tough.
We had to really dig deep in the old archives, didn't we? Yeah.
Well, what we're thinking about is we're thinking about transfers that have happened for your club where you've not been a fan of to begin with, and you're thinking, who is this? And then they've become heroes.
Yeah.
Right. So, you made a really good one when we were off air. You said Michael Owen to Man United.
Yeah. It's Michael Owen, isn't it?
It's Michael Owen.
2010. His legs have already gone. But like you said, United fans, they got one over on you.
They loved the gloat. They loved the gloat. And me as a Liverpool fan, I hated the gloat. And I remember watching the City United derby when he scored the winner.
4-3, wasn't it? Last minute.
Hated that. But you know, he was a Liverpool great player at that point. Okay, he'd gone off to Madrid, and look, I don't think many Liverpool fans argued going off to Madrid. Trent might do the same, and look, it's Real Madrid.
I think you can't turn down Madrid.
No,
there's no possibility in the world that you turn down Madrid.
And do you know what? A little plug for Owen's book here. I actually really like Owen's book, and I really enjoyed reading it. And he talks about that he wanted to come back, and he kept contacting Liverpool, bring me back.
Yeah.
He had a choice: stay at Real Madrid and not play, or go to Newcastle. And I think he was probably pushed a little bit to go to Newcastle.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so we know how it is in Madrid.
Exactly.
Once they don't want you, they don't want you.
He goes to Man United. And then for that City game alone,
I think it's worth
becomes a bit of a hero.
Well, it's a classic moment now, isn't it? You look back. I remember watching the game live, and I remember Giggs getting the ball, and Owen was just in miles of space.
Yeah.
And obviously, City at the time, they were still up and coming. They still had all this money, spent loads on Robinho and stuff, and they were trying to make a name for themselves. I think did Bellamy score 2 in that game as well? I think they were 3-2 up at one point. So I think the transfer in itself, yes, at the time, United fans, why we signed this bloke, blah 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 blah. His legs are gone, no one wants him. He'll be injured all the time. He was on page to play. That goal alone is worth its weight.
Yeah, exactly, and you pay as you play as well.
Yeah,
and I think he had choices of Hull. So I think actually, you got Hull. Or you've got Man United. Who do you go and play for?
It's an easy pick.
And it's Man United under Fergie.
Yeah,
as well.
It's not just Man United under Ten Hag.
No, and our younger viewers, you might not remember the Fergie eras. We will do a Man United episode at some point. We'll talk to Man United fans about those Fergie eras. I hated it, every single minute of it, but that's because they were so good. But yeah, Owen, and you could argue Paul Ince, and the fact that when we signed Paul Ince, okay, again, like Owen, it wasn't direct, but spent years not liking him. Yeah. But I wonder if that one was more hero to villain from Man United's point of view. I don't think we necessarily villainised him when he come in.
No, there's probably been more cases of hero to villain than anyone else.
Yeah,
I was talking about Sol Campbell, for example. That was a big one going that way. But probably that's an episode for another day, maybe.
Here's one that I think is very recent. Villain to hero, Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz, yeah.
Now look, Arsenal fans, I'm going to be a bit controversial here because I'm pretty sure that so many of you in the comments will turn and say, no, I thought that was a great signing. I'm really happy about that. What was it, 70 million?
Something like it was big money, wasn't it?
It was big money.
Big money, yeah.
I don't remember Arsenal fans on social media making a noise saying, we got a player here. I think most Arsenal fans looked at that and said, why are we signing this Chelsea reject?
He was ridiculed at Chelsea for not being able to finish and being lightweight, poor. What is he good at? And when he come from Leverkusen, he was this really high-rated youngster. And for Chelsea to get him at the time was a massive snip. Obviously, he scored in the Champions League final, again, with Tuchel. For them to then... they did turn on him in the end. Because they were poor. And Chelsea had been poor for a few years. So, for Arsenal then to go and sign this Chelsea reject, like you said... for 70-odd million quid, when really they were crying out for a proper number 9, I'm sure Arsenal fans at the time was like, what are we doing kind of thing. Yeah. Don't rate it at all. But second half of last season, and I'd say the start of this season, it looks alright.
Well, I heard Alan Smith on the commentary yesterday. I don't particularly rate Alan Smith on commentary, but saying how much Kai Havertz has come on, how impressive he is these days. Most definitely an Arsenal hero at the moment. 100%. And I'd say the goals he's getting, the way he's...
a lot of their play goes through him. Because he just got deep.
Bringing Saka, Martinez, Trossard into the game. I think he's doing really well. And I don't think they've missed Odegaard as much because Havertz been playing.
They've not missed him at all, really, have they?
No,
obviously they struggled in the Bournemouth game, but that was just due to poor defensive mistakes. But yeah, I'd say Havertz is seen as their next fit. Yeah, exactly, a villain to hero.
And a German as well.
Another
instance.
Yeah.
Right, I've got another one for you.
Go on.
Johnny Evans to Manchester United. Now, for context, Johnny Evans was a Man United academy player coming through.
Yeah.
They let him go. Did he go to West Brom?
He Did go to West Brom. From our mates who are United fans at the time, they said it was a stupid transfer. It was under Louis van Gaal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you pushed him out.
But he went.
He did go.
And then he played for you.
He played for us. And I'll tell you what, at the time, fantastic.
Yeah.
Really good. His first season was a bit ropey. But then when he had that combined actual partnership with Soyuncu in the 1920, 2021, 21-22 seasons, he was phenomenal. Like Rolls Royce of a player.
Yeah.
The last year with us, damn tools in my opinion. He was our captain.
But how old was he then when he left you?
I don't know.
But he was in his 30s.
Yeah,
he's
late 30s
and
now, isn't it?
When he signed for Man United, everybody was shocked. Free transfer, everybody was shocked. And I remember it being said, he was being signed to work with the kids.
Yeah. That makes sense.
To go in, to coach a little bit, to work with the kids, and just be a backup. Now, the reason why I've said villain to hero, because I don't think Johnny Evans is a villain for Man United, but when Man United fans started seeing him in the starting lineup on a regular basis, I don't think there was a single Man United fan that would turn around and look me in the eye and say, I was really happy about that, because
the season before he was injured all the time. With us, he only played about 15, 16 games. He was poor. The whole Leicester team was poor.
But an ageing Johnny Evans.
Exactly. And like you said, he was brought in to be backup to the backup.
Yeah.
And the fact that he then ended up playing 30-odd games is absolutely crazy. So fair play to United for taking a gamble on him. And did he play in the FA Cup final? I can't remember. He might have come on.
But this is why I say villain to hero, because he wasn't a villain, but I think the transfer, the owner's got a lot of stick for it, the manager got a lot of stick for it, what's going on. And then the fact he's a regular and he's playing regularly.
He started yesterday.
But he's doing really well.
Yeah.
And actually, I think, me personally, I don't watch a lot of Man United, but I think if you said the best centre-backs for Man United in terms of form at the moment, Johnny Evans has to start.
It's crazy that.
Has to start.
Crazy. All this money they've spent on centre-halves.
But, Man United fans, I'll put this one to you. Imagine if you didn't have Johnny Evans. Imagine your season, last season and this season, if you hadn't had Johnny Evans.
It would have been Casemiro at centre-back. We've seen what happened to his legs last year. They're worse than Evans's.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Enough said. Right. I'm going to go to another team in the Northwest, one that I hold dear. Crouch to Liverpool. Now, I can't speak for every Liverpool fan, but I remember when we signed Peter Crouch, I remember thinking, what?
Why have we signed him?
he had a good game against us for Southampton.
Yeah.
They got relegated. And then we bring in Peter Crouch. We just won the Champions League. 2005, Istanbul has happened. The wonders of this. And we bring in Peter Crouch. And I remember thinking...
Sounds like a Leicester City signing, that does, after winning the league. Not far off, is it?
Everybody laughed at this one. And then the laughs got worse when he took as long as he did to score a goal. He took forever to score a goal. And I think we spent, was it 15 million on him?
Which, at the time.
And this is important to recognise. At the time, that was big money. That was big money for Peter Crouch. And... he took so long to score a goal, and all of a sudden, he then started scoring goals. Then started banging them in. The hat-trick against Arsenal, right foot, left foot on his head. And actually, I think there was a lot of people that thought in the 2007 Champions League final that he was a key man, that he could have done something. Even when he left, because Torres had come in at that point, a lot of people were unhappy to see him leave, thinking Crouch is a good option.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that was villain to hero.
100%.
Definitely.
Like you said, he took so long to score his first goal.
Yeah.
A few more games, Liverpool fans would have started to turn on him, maybe.
I think they already had started to turn
on him. Yeah, exactly that. So the fact that he's gone from that really poor level to, like you said, scoring a perfect hat-trick, the overhead kick, so many moments that Crouchy had. And I really like Crouchy. I love his part. Like, the bloke in himself is just a normal bloke. So, I don't... Like you said, he had a poor start. He would have never been seen as a villain. He's just...
No.
Yeah.
But I think the ownership, the signing... So when we talk about villain, we don't necessarily mean the player himself.
No.
I suppose it can be what the player represents.
Oh, yeah.
Right, another one on that ilk. Gareth Bale, Tottenham.
Yeah, they were going to sell him, weren't they?
Now, again, Bale wasn't a villain because he was a highly rated young player from Southampton. Spurs get him, left back at the time.
Signed as a left back.
And was it 25 games that they did not win?
When he played. Yeah. And he was... they signed this really high-rated player from... It was Southampton's academy, wasn't it? And at the time, obviously, I can't remember how old they actually... I think he was 18, wasn't he?
Yeah.
When they signed him. And yeah, he did play a few games. Obviously, he didn't win in them games. And the streak just kept going and going and going. And obviously, as a young left-back as well, I think it's a really tough position to play as a young lad. Because you're left vulnerable to a lot of abuse because of how much could get by you.
Well, if you make a mistake, they're thrown goal.
Exactly.
And that's where Trent gets his abuse, because make a mistake, they're thrown goal. But I remember the groans from Spurs fans when they saw him in the starting lineup, because if he was starting, they lost.
And they didn't rate him.
No,
they didn't rate him at all.
And was it Harry Redknapp moved him to left midfield?
Yeah, I remember it was against Inter Milan. I think
destroyed it.
He absolutely killed Maicon, who at the time was one of the best right backs in the world. Obviously, some of you are watching.
Well, not have a clue who Maicon is.
Yeah, no idea. You probably just see him as this hero card on EAFC.
Played for Man City.
Yeah, he did play for Man City for a year. But Maicon at the time was a fantastic right back.
Yeah.
Brazil had him and Dani Alves, and they were fighting back and forth. We know how good Dani Alves was. And Gareth Bale got put left mid in the Champions League and absolutely killed prime Maicon. Finished his career. Yeah, his career was done after that. Yeah. It was finished. And from then on, that's when we're seeing what Bale would become. Probably, arguably, one of the greatest British players of all time.
Yeah. I mean, considering England have always seemed to lack a left-footed, left-sided midfielder, Bale could have been a really good answer.
Can you imagine if Bale played for England? We'd have gone out in the quarters.
But think about how Spurs loved him at the end.
Yeah.
What was it? 100 million to Real Madrid at the time.
Yeah, I remember his last season for Spurs.
Big money.
And every time he got the ball, he did something with it. It was unbelievable to watch. One of the best players the Premier League's ever seen that season.
There weren't groans when he started then.
No.
Right. David Raya.
Yeah.
Now, again, Arsenal fans, we're not picking on you.
No.
But what I would say when David Raya signed last season, I know a lot of Arsenal fans that looked at it and said, "We've got Ramsdale." You know, Ramsdale's been...
Why do we need a goalkeeper?
Ramsdale's been a great signing. And I think a lot of Arsenal fans felt very sorry for Ramsdale and thought, why have we brought this guy in?
Yeah.
You know, from Brentford. You know, he hadn't been ripping it up for Brentford.
No.
Been solid. So, again, he's not the villain. I think the transfer was the villain.
Yeah.
But wow, what a hero now.
Well, Arteta knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh, what a signing.
Ramsdale will be on the end of it. However, Ramsdale did to Leno what Raya did to Ramsdale. So it's just an ongoing circle. And like we said, David Raya now is probably one of the best goalkeepers in the league. He's won them a fair few points this season already from his saves that he's made. Not just that, obviously the way he plays. And I've seen Ramsdale play for Southampton obviously yesterday and a few times prior to that. And you can see the levels.
Yeah.
You can see the levels now. You can see why Arteta did it. Yes, at the time, I know Arsenal fans still really like Ramsdale because of his time at the club, and he was never did anything wrong.
No.
But David Raya now is exactly what they need. And would they be better off with Ramsdale in goal? No, they wouldn't.
No, I don't think so. I think they've done the right thing. But at the time, it wasn't seen that way.
No,
it weren't. And actually, do you remember that it was spoken about of this going to be a huge disruption for the club? Because they said that you've got one unhappy person on the bench.
Yeah.
No harmony, no nothing. No. Well, actually, look at them now.
Yeah.
You know, one of the most together squads.
Exactly.
So, yeah, massive villain to hero in terms of transfer. Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
Right. You mentioned one.
I did, yeah. Simo.
Danny Simpson.
Now, at the time, I know Leicester fans will agree with me when we signed him. Why have we signed it? Obviously, there were certain allegations that were happening. He's got cleared of them. We signed him from QPR. Why have we signed players from QPR? We want to try and build on our Premier League status. Obviously, he didn't play much and then was brought in during the title-winning season when we started conceding a few goals. And he was brought in to do one job. That was to defend. I spoke a bit about it last week.
Yep.
How he was brought into the team to allow Riyad to do what he needed to do. And we look so much better with him in the team. Even a few years later as well. Year after in the Champions League, when he wasn't in the team, we looked poor. The year after that, when he was coming to the end of his career with us, when he wasn't in the team, he looked poor. We looked really poor without him. So at the time the signing was, why are we signing this random right back? Like,
yep.
He failed it. United got rid of him. Why QPR selling him? Obviously didn't play for a while. Come in and one of the underrated heroes, I'd say, from the title-winning season. Allowed Riyad to do what he needed to do. He just had to defend. He knew Riyad wouldn't come back and track back as much. That's what his job was. He did his job, and Leicester fans love him for it still now today.
Villain to hero.
Proper villain to hero.
Villain to hero. And again, not saying the player, not saying, we think about pantomime characters, Mope, classic one, etc. Yeah. But we're talking about transfers that the fans weren't happy with, but then turned out to be successful. I've got a couple more.
Go on.
And now this one, Jerzy Dudek.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because we had Sander Westerveld in goal at the time. Now, do you know what? Westerveld had won the treble with us.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse treble. Okay,
yeah. Treble's a treble.
And that was his debut season. Done well. I used to love Westerveld. I thought he was a safe pair of hands in there. And we brought Dudek in. Dudek, obviously, is known for the Diego Forlan mistake. At Anfield, throwing the ball to Forlan, let go between his legs, etc. But we know how his career ended at Liverpool.
Did alright, didn't it?
What a save.
Did alright.
What a save. That Shevchenko save.
Yeah.
Where
unbelievable.
It's point blank and Sheva just hits it. And it's not even at him. It's
probably
to the
about
side.
a yard out, isn't it? It's not
And it's just that
save.
one hand out.
Yeah.
And what must
it's
be
a strong hand as well.
Strong hand because it goes over the bar. And it was a double save. Made the first save and then reacts. Unbelievable. And obviously, the heroics in the penalty shootout.
Tad off his line though, wasn't it?
Technically, they should have been taken again.
I love football back then. It was brilliant. No rules.
Technically, they should have been taken again. But hero, absolute hero.
Yeah.
I remember meeting Jerzy up in Liverpool. I just said thank you for one of the best nights of my life. That was unbelievable. But he wasn't considered a top keeper. And I know that when I was talking to Liverpool fans at the time, need new goalkeeper. And then, look at what he does. Unbelievable.
He won you a Champions League?
He helped. He helped win us a Champions League. Right. I think I want to wrap up this segment with one key name that I think is the biggest villain to hero.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who don't know, the Barcelona-Real Madrid rivalry. Now we focus on the Premier League.
Yeah.
Okay, we focus on the Premier League, but we're gonna go across the pond and we're gonna go to Spain. Okay. Now, if you don't understand the rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid, this is like beyond rivalries. We talk about Liverpool, Man United, and that goes back to Manchester Shipping Canal and all this sort of stuff. This is Catalonia versus the monarch in Spain. This is Civil War-esque.
It's very big.
People think that in Barcelona that they should be their own independent country.
Catalonia.
Yeah, Catalonia. Yeah. When Spain were winning, there were Catalonia flags around, etc. And the reason why Spain never won anything before, or anything big before they did back in the late 2000s, was because of this big Real Madrid-Barca divide. These fans hate each other on this absolute ingrained political level. Okay, this is massive. So can you imagine a transfer going directly from Barcelona to Real Madrid?
In the peak of that.
And a transfer, the best player from Barcelona going to Real Madrid. Now, our audience, if you haven't heard of Luis Figo, YouTube.
Give him a watch.
YouTube. Unbelievable
Proper
footballer.
Proper
What
baller.
a player. Out on the right, and he could do anything. You know, the ball was like a magnet to his feet, and he could just do anything. Unbelievable player. And he went directly from Barcelona to Real Madrid. Now, when Real Madrid got him, I don't think for 1 minute they thought, oh, you're a rival. But the reason why we're saying rival to hero or villain to hero is because he was a villain. Because when he played at the Bernabeu as a Barca player, you know, things were being hurled at him, abuse was being thrown at him.
He was hated.
He was hated. Villainised.
Yeah.
But then he is now probably more associated with Real Madrid than he was with Barcelona.
I think if you ask that now to most people,
he was
you would think he was
the first Galacticos.
Exactly. Yeah. It was the start of the Galactico era, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I think he's an ambassador for Real Madrid.
He is now, yeah.
Hero. Absolute hero. You know, won them the Champions League in 2001.
Yeah.
You know, countless league titles. Unbelievable player. But a massive case of villain to hero.
Exactly.
Great way to end that segment. Luis Figo, we reckon he's the biggest villain to hero of all time.
He has to be. I can't think of anyone else.
Can you? Let us know in the comments below if you can think of any other villain to hero. It doesn't matter how big or small. Get in touch. Let us know what you think. Welcome back, guys, to Food for Footy. So, Krispy Kremes are going down well?
Yeah, always.
Do you know what? I've really enjoyed the mocha.
Yeah, my hot chocolate went down quite
well.
well.
All gone. Yeah. That was really nice. Yeah. Not too sweet. Nice. You know, you get some where you drink half of it and you feel a bit sick.
Yeah.
That went down beautifully.
Yeah.
That was going down quicker than donuts, to be fair.
Lovely.
Right, so last segment, and it's our favourite.
Yeah.
Outside the box time. Nice little bit of harmony there, mate. Right. So we're on the topic of zero to hero. Okay. We talked about Thomas Tuchel coming in. The fact there's been a lot of controversy about that. In the last segment, we were talking about zeros to heroes for our clubs. This one, we're talking about unlikely heroes.
Yes.
People that have stepped up and done something that you never expected.
Yep.
So, hopefully you guys know how outside the box works by now. We give a suggestion, and this is a wild statement. A wild statement that could happen, that could be considered. So when we say hero, they're not going to build a statue of him.
No.
Okay? Well, for this particular reason anyway. There might be a statue of him, but not for this reason. So it's an out there statement. We like to describe it as Roberto Carlos's free kicks. 9 out of 10 in the stands, but one of them straight in top bins.
Exactly that.
So we go back and forth. If it's a really good one, it gets a goal, and you're on a roll.
I am on a roll. Scoring streak. Can't stop.
You are, yeah. If it's not really outside the box, or it's a bit too outside the box, it's a yellow card.
Yeah.
And if it's in no way outside the box,
done.
And if it is far too out, if it's gone out of the stadium, it's a red card and game over, and we tot up the goals. Right, Murchy. Unlikely heroes. Do you want to start?
I will start.
Right,
I'm gonna stay with Leicester City.
Okay.
Because it's the first one I thought of. So in our title-winning season, Vardy got sent off against West Ham for diving. So we had one striker to step up, Leonardo Ulloa. Now,
what about Ulloa?
Yeah, now at the time on Sky, I remember Sky Sports News after everyone was saying, "Well, what are they going to do? They've not got Vardy.
Yeah.
The Swansea have turned up. They're in good form. He's gone and scored 2. He scored the penalty against West Ham. He scored 2. He led the line against United really well.
Was he a big lad?
He was a big lad, big Argentinian.
Yes.
Argentinian.
Yes.
Loved Ulloa. Unlikely hero because he carried us for 3 games without Vardy when everybody wrote us off, because how would we do without Vardy? The bloke scored 3 goals in 3 games.
But didn't he also come on and make impacts as well during that? Because after he started, didn't he also come on and
yeah, there was times where Claudio brought him on depending on the game, but there was never. So the season when we went up, we brought him from Brighton.
Yeah,
he scored 6 goals or something in his first season. We knew what type of player he was. Big target man. Get the ball up to him, he'll take it. I've never seen a player as good as him as Leicester taking the ball on his chest or holding the ball. obviously then we switched system and we had Vardy and Nugent up top when we stayed up.
Yeah.
And we started the season off with Vardy and Okazaki. So it was frozen out a bit, to say the least, because we had our team. Claudio knew our team. That was the team we played for 38 odd games. I think Ojoa started 2 before he come in for Vards. So for him to come on, step up like he did, when we had pundits writing us off, we had players writing us off. Oh, they've got Vardy now. How are they gonna cope? Well, cope's right. We smashed Swansea 4-0. We drew with United. We got a point back against West Ham, and that was down to Leo.
Do you know what? I can't argue with it, because as soon as you said that name, I thought, oh yeah,
throwback, mate.
I'll give you a goal, mate.
Lovely.
I'll give you a goal.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right. Pains me, this one, but it's ingrained in my memory. Federico Macheda.
Oh my God.
In 2009, I think it was.
Villa. 3-2.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll paint the scene for those that don't remember. This was Rafa Benitez's Liverpool going up against Man United. Now, we were hot on their tails.
Yeah.
We'd beaten them at Old Trafford. I think we actually only lost 2 games that season.
Yeah.
We had Gerrard, Torres in prime, Mascherano, Alonso, Dirk Kuyt, great players. And we needed Man United to drop points. We finished 4 points behind them that season, and we needed them to drop points. And Man United were having a bit of a wobble, and I think they had a couple of injuries. And Federico Macheda stepped up, and I think it wasn't just the Villa game. I think he scored in another game as well. But essentially, those goals at the back end of the season got them across the line. So he's a name that I don't think he's a hero, but I can imagine. I've heard it from Man
heroic
fans.
Moments,
exactly.
To say, and he had a few of them that ended up, like you said, winning United the league. And I'd have to give you a goal for that, mate. It's just like you said. This outside the box, we're talking about moments. Yeah. We're talking about unlikely heroic moments. And
well, we never heard of him before or after.
What happened to him after that?
I think he went to Spain or Italy somewhere, and that was it. But
oh my word.
I'm not celebrating because it hurts.
What happened?
It hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I'm not going to stick with Liverpool for my one, but I am going to stick with a player that played for Liverpool.
Go on.
Fernando Torres. Now, he went to Chelsea.
Oh, you're about to nick one of mine.
I've swooped in.
It's on the list.
Swooped in.
It's on the list.
Everyone knows the iconic moment.
You're going to say Barcelona.
Iconic moment.
I've got to.
Mate.
It's on the list. It's on the list. I've got to.
We're on the same wavelength. For those who don't know the moment, though, Torres, when he signed for Chelsea, he was struggling to start with. He was really struggling. There was the moment where he went round De Gea and put it wide from about 4 yards out.
Yeah, laughing it off.
Everyone was laughing at it because they paid 50 million for him at the time. In January, it was massive money, wasn't it? Massive money. So that happened, and then obviously Chelsea I can't remember who was manager at the time. I couldn't tell you, but they got Di Matteo in.
Yeah,
it was the assistant, and they played a prime Barcelona. It was prime Barcelona.
It was prime Barcelona. And they'd been beaten a few seasons before by
the
semi-finals.
The refereeing performance of that game. And they were down to 10 men, weren't they? Ramirez scored a chip, which was a phenomenal. One of my favourite goals that I've seen. And they were defending for dear life. Because you've got Barcelona, you've got Iniesta, you've got Messi, you've got Xavi, you've got Pedro, you've got Villa. You've got all of these lot attacking you. You've got 10 men. But they left one lad up there.
Yeah.
And he was through on goal. It was probably one of the only goals he scored that season. He didn't get many.
But it got him to the Champions League final, didn't it?
People will know the moment because you had Gary Neville.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. You can do it.
Unbelievable. And it was a fantastic moment and a heroic moment because a lot of Chelsea fans were starting to write him off. So
I don't think he'd written him off before then.
Yeah, so that was my one. Sorry, mate.
It was on my list. I can't do anything but give you a goal for that one. Hey, don't need to apologise.
It shows we're on the same wavelength.
An unlikely hero. Yeah. Because I think for those of us, for the fans that are watching, okay, Torres, Liverpool, unbelievable. You know, what a player, best striker in the world at the time.
Well, he come, didn't he? He come from Atletico, and everyone was like, it's his first season, he's got to adjust, he's got to adapt. He didn't need to.
He broke the record for the most goals in a debut season from a foreign player. I think it was Van Nistelrooy's before, and he broke the record. Him and Gerrard were telepathic. Gerrard in the 10, Torres in the 9, absolutely unbelievable. You know, some on YouTube, seriously, even if you're not a Liverpool fan, go and watch some of his goals. You know, unbelievable. But that transfer hurt. And I remember on the phone to my dad, you know, the internet even broke on deadline day because, you know, we signed Suarez and Carroll and all this sort of stuff. But anyway, then this first game was against Liverpool. And look, I think Carragher probably should have been sent off, you know, brutalised him. But it was downhill from them for him. And you know, against Barcelona, best team in the world, he goes and scores. So, no, I'll give you that one. Right. Michael Owen against Argentina. Because the reason I'm saying it's an unlikely hero, because Michael Owen was a kid at the time.
Yeah, he was.
He was 17 years old at the time. I think he'd had his debut season for Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, the season before. And I don't think many people were expecting what we saw from Michael Owen. We knew he was a good player. He'd scored, I think, against Colombia in the tournament. So this is France 98.
Yeah.
France 98, for those that can remember. Hey, you were born, were you, mate?
I was 1.
You were 1, so you won't remember it. But Michael Owen, he was known to Liverpool fans, you know, promising player. And I think everyone was looking at it going, you know, okay, could come on and make an impact, could do well. I think he started the game against Argentina. Ayala, at the time, was one of the best centre-backs in the world. And Michael Owen picks the ball up and he runs. Yeah. And he just dinks past these two Argentine defenders that they're not there. Paul Scholes is coming in. He says to Paul Scholes, who's a veteran, you know, top of his game at the time, leave it, bangs one in the top corner. Now, that game will always be remembered for Beckham being sent off. Yeah. But it's also remembered for Owen's wonder goal. You know, the nation erupted at this point, you know. And that's when Michael Owen announced himself. But I think before the tournament, if you just said, Michael Owen's going to do that, I don't think many people would have said, yeah, that's going to happen. But it was just incredible.
Because of how young he was. And like you said, in this type of period of football, it was a lot more, I don't want to say rough, but it was harder for a kid to kind of stabilise himself and break into the first team. So the fact that he's done it on an international level in probably one of the biggest games that you could do it in, you've got to have a goal for that, mate, surely.
Doing well so far, mate.
We are doing well.
2-2.
Yeah.
2-2.
I'm going to stick with international tournaments.
I'm going to cover this. Go on.
2016 Euros final. France versus Portugal.
Yeah.
Ronaldo gets injured.
Yeah.
Comes off. They have a player called Eder, who ended up scoring in that final. Now, a bit of backstory about Eder. He played for Braga. So he was never this like really out-and-out goal-scoring guy.
No, he wasn't,
He was brought in as backup. Obviously, they then had to bring him on in probably the biggest game he's ever played. And he's hit one from 30 yards into the bottom corner to win Portugal a major trophy against France in France.
And he didn't, if I'm right, did he get a big transfer afterwards? Did he go to Bayern?
No, that was Renato Sanchez.
Renato Sanchez.
I think he come over to England. I think he played for Swansea at a point, but he went from club to club to club. Kind of hopped around, and even after that, I don't think he scored many. If you go on his Wikipedia, you'll see how many he scored for his career. But as a striker, he didn't do anything to warrant a place in that team. But he's come on and smacked one in the bottom corner from 35 yards out.
And that was when because Ronaldo was on the bench, wasn't he? And they were
saying he got injured and he was coaching from the side. I
mean, look, you score a goal to win an international tournament as an unknown. I think you've got to give you a goal there, mate. And I'm gonna not have a player but a whole team.
Oh, okay.
Greece.
Oh yes.
Greece, unlikely heroes of 2004. Yes. If I had to pick a player, I would say you're either talking Karagounis or Hristeas.
Karagounis, that's the name I've not heard for a long time.
But Greece 2004 won the Euros.
Yeah.
And it was one of those ilks of, but they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it.
They were Leicester before Leicester.
They were, but they just kept
Leicester
on
before
winning.
Leicester.
And Hristeas, did he get Golden Boot?
I think he did. It was like 5 or 6, wasn't it?
They had Hristeas up front, who just seemed to score every game. Did they beat Portugal in the final?
Yeah. Because there's the moment of Ronaldo crying his eyes out.
Yeah, they beat Cristiano Ronaldo. And 2004, Ronaldo he's younger, but he's still a
young
good player.
Yeah.
Figo,
yeah.
Just singing Figo's praise in the previous segment. Portugal had a good side. Rui Costa.
Rui Costa,
Rui Costa, great players.
Their number 10 winner, yeah.
But they beat some big names, Greece, along the way. And they just kept on winning. 2004, Greece.
Goal, mate. Goal. I'm going to follow you with the patterns of
Go on.
of teams.
Go on, you're going to say Leicester City?
No, I'm going to say Denmark in '92 in the Euros.
Yeah.
Wasn't even in the Euros.
Yeah.
So they didn't qualify for it.
Yeah.
They qualified by default, because I think something to do with one of the Yugoslavia nations. So they got put into the tournament, and obviously at the time, just a filler team, innit? Just a filler team. Well, they did alright in the end, didn't they?
Yeah, and it was Schmeichel in goal.
And it is a fact for you younger kids as well. So everyone will know nowadays the pass-back rule.
Yeah.
The reason that rule got brought in was because of this tournament.
Yeah.
And what Denmark did to exploit it.
Yeah.
They would score, and they would just constantly go back to Schmeichel in goal all the time, whenever they could, and he would pick it up, drop it, and roll it back out, and they'd do it again.
Yeah.
And that is the reason that rule got brought in.
Yeah. There's Schmeichel talks about it on the podcast, doesn't he?
Yeah. So that's my unlikely hero team, because there wasn't even in the tournament.
No,
till about a month before the tournament happening, and then they go on to win it.
I'll give you it, mate. I'll give you a goal. And I'm going to steal one that I said I thought you were going to mention.
Leicester City is an easy
Leicester
one.
City,
it's easy, isn't it?
That's easy.
Yeah, it is easy, mate. Yeah.
Right, that was my last teams one. Have you got another teams?
I've not got another team.
Right, so back to individuals. So I've lost track of scores. What are we on? 4-3 now?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh no, it'd be 3. You started. It'd be 3-3. 3-3. Right, go on, Murchy.
Now, this is where I don't want to get caught in two minds.
Okay.
So very recent. Very, very recent.
Go on.
Ollie Watkins in the semi-final against the Dutch. We've got Harry Kane up top, who is one of the best strikers in the world. Ollie Watkins has come off a season where he's done fantastically well for Villa.
Yeah.
Now, after this game, a lot of England fans wanted to see Ollie Watkins start in the final because of his 10-15 minute cameo in the semis. Obviously, he scored a brilliant finish. Was it an unlikely goal scorer? I would say yes, it was.
Was it?
I think it was.
Was it? Do you know what?
I didn't think we were going to score again in that game.
Do you know what? As you were talking then, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, I see where you're coming from. So I'm nodding along thinking, yeah, okay, I see what you've done there. But then I'm thinking, the name Ollie Watkins he is a household name now.
Yes.
But I think there've been a couple of seasons at Villa where he had been playing well. I don't know how many caps he's got.
I don't think he's got many.
But he was known to Villa fans, and obviously last season he had a brilliant season.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you any card, but I'm not going to give you a goal, mate.
Fair.
I think Ollie Watkins scoring a goal isn't. I get what you're saying. In that moment, in that game, no, it didn't look like we were going to score. I thought we were going to go out.
Yeah.
But Ollie Watkins was brought on to do that. He'd scored plenty for Villa the season before. Yes, he was a hero for getting that, but I don't think it was massively unexpected, especially because England fans were screaming for it, saying, get Watkins on, because we need someone to go in behind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was not to be expected, but...
That's fair, mate. That's fair. No, that's all right.
Right. I think you might go the same with mine here.
Go on.
Vincent Kompany screamer to win City the league against you lot. Now, Vincent Kompany, I said at the beginning, people, we're talking about players that might have a statue. Vincent Kompany has got a statue, hasn't he, outside the Etihad, but not for scoring goals.
No.
He's got it for being the captain, the rock at the back. We were chasing City at the time, and City had you, I think it was third to last game.
Yes.
Was it? Third to last game?
Yep.
At the King Power?
No, it was
at the
their place, 0-0 for a large portion of the game.
I was sat there listening to that game and I'm thinking, come on, Leicester.
They couldn't break us down.
Because bear in mind, again, we spoke about this in the last one. If you haven't checked out the last episode, please do check it out because, Murchy gives such a great insight for Leicester back then. But Leicester at that point were breaking in or looking to break into the top four.
It was our first, so that season, was it the 18-19 season? I think it was.
It was the 18-19 season.
So we had sacked Claude Puel.
And you had Rodgers.
And we brought Rodgers in and he stabilised us towards the end of the season. And I think we was on a run at the end of the season where we won 6-6 or something. Obviously he went to Man City and they had a game plan and they wouldn't have broke us down.
No.
I'm telling you now for a fact, they were never breaking us down. They couldn't. The only chance they had was shooting from outside the box.
Which they were doing.
And as someone who's coached and managed, if you want to defend, you want to limit chances to outside the box.
Yeah.
Because it's the name of the segment. 9 times out of 10, they don't go in.
And that was an outside the box absolute screamer.
And it was. And it's from a bloke who you would never expect it to shoot.
And I remember listening to that game because, again, for those of you, and look, we'll dive into this when we do the Liverpool one. For those of you that don't necessarily remember that time or, weren't thinking too much about it, every point mattered. Because we're talking, we lost the league on 98 or 97 points.
Yeah.
I think it was 98. To get 98 points and not win the league. You guys won it on 73.
Yeah.
Unbelievable numbers. And it was us versus City. Every game mattered. And this was the one in the calendar. This was the one. If City dropped points, we would win the league.
Yeah.
Because it was that close. We had nice fixtures coming up afterwards. And this was the one. I remember gathering around the radio with my dad, listening to it. And exactly what you said. Leicester were just sat deep, and the commentators were saying how this had 0-0 written over, and even Leicester might counter and hit on the break.
Well, we should have scored. I think there was a bit of
well, he's a City boy, wasn't he?
Bit of payback there because seeing Kel play, he's put them in the top corner. The fact that he's put that far wide, something sus about that. It's even to this day.
But then Kompany comes up with that, and at that point, the league slipped away from us.
Yeah.
So that's why I've said an unlikely hero.
No, I think you're bang on there, mate. I think it's a goal all day. Like it's just
again, I've given 2 heartbreaking moments for myself.
But they are you're exactly right. What we're talking about, they are unlikely heroes. And that goal, if not for that goal, Liverpool would have been champions.
Double, Champions League and Premier League.
Exactly. So it just shows you what that did. And I've run out of them, mate. So
you not got another one?
I've not got another one, unless you want to do one more.
Well, the only ones I had left on my list, but I've kind of covered it because I said Leicester as a whole. I was going to say Jamie Vardy for Leicester.
Yeah.
But Leicester as a whole, the only other one that I've got on here was, and I've covered it before, was Dudek in 2005.
Yeah.
An unlikely hero.
Is it? Yeah, 100%.
But, that, again, we've touched on that when we spoke about Dudek. But look, we've probably missed a few off here.
100%.
So let us know in the comments, unlikely heroes, people that have stepped up for your club that you did not expect to do that. Okay, we've given you a few here. We've talked about Torres for Chelsea.
Yeah.
We've talked about Kompany. We've talked about Makeda, Eder, Greece.
Yeah.
What is an unlikely hero? Do you know what? We could have had Coventry City if they'd have got past Man United last season.
Yeah, well they didn't.
They didn't. I know.
Sorry, Cov fans.
I know, but could have had you lot there. But let us know if we've forgotten any. But 4-3.
4-3. It's another high-scoring game, that, isn't it?
You've got another 3 goals.
Mate. I know. I've got to take these back to back hat tricks, and I. So
I know.
I might not be winning, but I'm up there at the end of the season.
Well, exactly. I think on the leaderboard so far, I've got is 4. You've got 3.
Yeah.
Chelsea fans got, was it 2 each?
Yeah, 2 each.
Yeah, 2 each. Yeah. So there's the leaderboard. Right, that's outside the box.
Yeah.
Another win for Adam in the bag. You're getting closer though, mate.
I am.
You're getting closer. You're
Maybe one day.
Making me
one
sweat.
day this year. Southampton in it, and I.
And look, did I do Murchy dirty? Do you think that Ollie Watkins should have got a goal for being that? Did I do Murchy dirty? Let us know in the comments and see what you think. Right, the only thing left for us to do, mate, is wrap up our food of choice today, our Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with a donut at the end of the day. You know what you're getting. Like I said, I really like just the plain Jane, simple glazed donut.
Do you know what? When I was looking at the options, I was torn because first of all there were little bites.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know whether to get some plain bites.
Yeah.
I thought we'd smash them.
Yeah.
So
they would have been gone within about 2 minutes.
Because purposely, when we're saying food for footy, I'm saving these for footy later.
Exactly
to watch the game. I might need to dry my eyes with a donut.
I think you'll be alright. I think you'll be fine.
You reckon?
Yep, I do.
We'll see. Heard it there. Murchy got Tuchel right. Will he get Liverpool winning right?
2-0 today.
Ooh.
2-0.
Ooh.
Get some money on it.
No. But anyway, so really enjoyed these. We went for the mixed assortment. I didn't select them. Now, obviously, we were saying this. You and I, we're not a big strawberry fan, so we've left those.
Not inside the donut. Not inside.
No, we're not a fan, but I'm sure people out there will be.
Yeah, everyone's got their own taste.
But I thought rather than customising, let's see what we get.
Yeah.
See what we get with the assortment. I enjoyed the white chocolate one.
They look very good.
It was very good.
The Biscoff one was very nice.
This one was good with the chocolate, Nutella filling.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very nice. So no, we definitely recommend 2, and I feel nice now. That's
Good limit for me.
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely recommend. And like I say, I will be trying these with footy later, sharing around.
Yeah.
But I think this was the winner. To be fair, I really enjoyed.
You enjoyed your mocha, didn't you?
Did mate.
Nice, mate.
Did.
Good.
Look, thank you guys for joining us for this week. It's just you next week, Murchy.
Just me on my own next week.
I'm on my holes.
Yeah, so there's some insight from me. We'll see what happens in next week's games. Could be some interesting results, and we'll talk about today's games as well. See what happens with that.
We've got Arsenal.
Now that is
Chelsea
a big game.
Arsenal.
That is a big game. So we'll be talking about that next week. We'll see what happens, and yeah.
Well, I'll make a call. I'll say that if we beat Chelsea this week and we beat Arsenal next week, we'll do a Liverpool episode the week after.
Yeah, agreed.
But I'm not confident, but we'll see. We'll see. But look, hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please leave a like. Please do subscribe to the channel, okay? And let us know in the comments. Look, we say this is football chat. This is 2 normal guys having football chat. Get involved, because actually the chat can only happen if you stick in the comments. We are on YouTube, we are on TikTok, we are on X, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram. We're on everything. Do get in touch, do speak to us, because we want to hear from you, and we'll give some of your comments a shout out. Thanks guys, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you later.